Do you think love is bullshit? Let's start with you, Shulman.
See, the matters of the heart are quite difficult.
Yeah, true.
So difficult.
Uh-huh.
But I would agree with you
Mm-hmm.
when you say that to love is to give.
Mm-hmm.
But now the question is,
Mm-hmm.
are you also getting it back?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there should not be any form of holding back.
Mm-hmm.
You should give what you get. Do
Mm-hmm.
you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now the problem comes when you have given so much and then you get disappointments.
Falling in love means losses. Like if you allow yourself to put yourself out there right now in the dating market, in the dating pool, you are going to face losses.
On
So in
this, sometimes I think we are quick to rush
Mm-hmm.
in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that especially if we don't know ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we end up giving ourselves. We give things that we ought not to give ourselves to other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so welcome back to yet another banger. Was was anyway, leo tumekuja ku discuss again love as a liability 2.0. Ile ilikuwa 1.0, hii ni 2.0. And joining us today is a very gorgeous lady. I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Shelmith Wangashi, and I'm glad to be here.
We are happy, we are glad to have you as well.
Thank you.
And then introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Jimmy Ogola. I'm also happy to be here.
I'm also Becca Ogola. We're namesake.
Mm-hmm. Keeping up with the Ogolas.
Keeping up with the hata sasa wewe kwa sets leo itabidi umekuwa Ogola.
For leo.
Majority wins.
Yes.
So tunataka kuongelelea love as a liability. And first of all, let's just try and dissect what we mean love being a liability. Ndio tuelewe. So let's define the topic of the day. And in my opinion, my understanding of the word love as a liability, it means falling in love means losses. Like if you allow yourself to put yourself out there right now in the dating market, in the dating pool, you are going to face losses. So in hindsight, the topic in a fall more kwa idea, love is bullshit. For lack of a better word. Do you think love is bullshit? Let's start with you, Shulman.
Okay, so maybe I should have pointed this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
So my perspective would be on that. Okay, so love as a liability. Yeah, on this, sometimes I think we are quick to rush in relationships. And that especially if we don't know ourselves. And that's how we end up giving ourselves. We give things that we ought not to give ourselves to other people. I've seen it, and actually I think it's back in 2022. I think I understood. Oh, now I get how ladies think. You can go to do dishes in a man's house because you're in love. But I think we do such things. Yes, like when you love, you want to show the other person that you care and all that stuff. And sometimes it's expressed in, I'd want to cook for him, do dishes, do cleaning for him. But when you're thinking in that terms, are you really ready for that love? because it becomes more draining. You become you're used by the other person,
Quick
whether
one.
they're in that space or
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before I get to you, Jimmy, and get your perspective. To love is to give. I think personally that's my take. To love is to give. When you are with someone, wouldn't you expect them to give also?
I would.
And why wouldn't you not give? Or why does giving feel like draining?
I think it needs to come from a place of understanding. One, am I ready to be in this space? Then if I'm ready, then I should exercise some patience for me to learn about this person first and to know where we are heading before I commit to anything. Yes, I can love you, but I can withhold certain things, certain privileges before I get to know, okay, this is where we are heading. So I can commit this and this, or I can give this and this and that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what's your take on that? Do you think love is a liability?
First of all, I would say the matters of the heart are quite difficult.
Yeah, true.
So difficult. But I would agree with you when you say that to love is to give. But now the question is, are you also getting it back? I feel like there should not be any form of holding back. You should give what you get. Do you feel me? Yeah. But now the problem comes when you have given so much and then you get disappointments. You know, when you're actually getting disappointments, you get like blows, like emotional blows, but they're generated like physical blows. Na hapo ndo saa shida hutokea sasa. So I feel like people should exercise, how do you call it, exchange. Na hapo ndio problems hutokea.
Can I? You see, from the Christian perspective, now let's get into marriage. You're supposed to give whether the other person gives or they don't, because when you're in marriage, you're in a covenant. So to the husband, you ought to love your wife, whether she respects you or not. And to the wife, you're supposed to give respect, whether the man loves you or he doesn't. So, coming now from that perspective, we don't give so that we can receive. We give because we ought to give, because we have loved. And that's why, like, I'm talking about, am I ready to be in a certain space? Because if I'm giving, if I'm committing to give, like, I'm giving for sure.
And like, according to you, there's a timeline. I could be sure within 24 hours, or I could be sure within 10 years. So where's the line drawn?
The time frame.
Yeah, time frame.
To know. Okay. I guess we are all spiritual. All right. So one thing or one way to know is if am I first aligned with God? Because if God isn't first, then everything else will not work out. And so if I don't have like not a perfect walk, but if I don't have a perpetual walk with God, then no one is welcome to be in my space.
Okay, I also want to challenge something. I want to challenge you because I lean more towards the secular side than the religious side. But whatever it is you're saying actually makes sense. But I want to give you a challenge. The people who do walk with God, as a matter of fact, they lead their life as by the books, and the book is the Bible. But it still doesn't work out. And there are people who apparently don't, and it actually works out. What do you have to say on that?
Thank you for the question. So, hey, You see,
Mm.
let me talk on the lady's side.
Mm.
We can have a walk with God,
Mm-hmm.
and like we dearly, dearly love Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have this specific pressure,
Mm-hmm.
time inasonga.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
at that moment,
Mm.
I'm most likely
Mm-hmm.
going to go with my emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but not what God has spoken.
How do you separate the two?
You can hear both. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let me maybe hopefully try to break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So there is, I can have these, let's say, when I just graduated from uni,
Mm-hmm.
it's the first time my aunt said, and now that you have brought a degree,
Mm-hmm.
you should now bring a husband. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, you've never brought this up. Where's it coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And then some years down the line, she's telling my sister,
Mm-hmm.
tell your sister
Mm-hmm.
to bring a child,
Mhm.
hata kama si mwanamume.
Mm.
And I'm like, so like there can be
Pressure.
that pressure
Mm-hmm.
that comes, that, or you've graduated,
Mm-hmm.
you're working,
Mhm.
but where is the husband? And
Mhm.
so that's pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I can choose to listen
Mm-hmm.
I feel
to
like
that.
mm,
And also,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the timings of God, then I have to know, is this person walking with God? Is are our lives aligned?
Mm-hmm.
And also I can also ask God, is this the man that you have prepared for me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you
I was
say?
saying,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like also I would say I'm quite following the secular more than the Christian one. I feel like the Christian one, kind of like you've said, you feel pressure. I feel like pressure is a restriction. Even like the Christian values, so you follow the Bible.
Yeah.
So like there are certain restrictions
Mm-hmm.
about love. And I feel like genuine love, it should just be free flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You get?
Mm.
Because even both of you, you have like this idea of the perfect qualities that a person should have, even if they are not religious as such, but you know that this is a good person. You see?
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, you wanted to say something?
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Now from my point of view, um, being a Christian gives me freedom. Like I I am free. Like, and I'm in that awareness that I am free. And
You're
it's
free.
in that, in the freedom, or in whatever God has given, He has given certain boundaries. And I come from, or I have this understanding that they're not to harm me, but to help me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the topic is love a liability?
Yeah.
And we're talking about marriage and alignment with religion and how in an ideal relationship should be. But I'm not seeing us highlighting if we personally think is love a liability, because love is a language understood by all people of all kinds, despite religion, despite races, despite age.
Mm-hmm.
No. So is it a liability if I choose to put myself out there? So I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that because you're religious and some of us might lean to this other side more, there might be a difference in how we perceive the whole dating marriage thing. But we can all agree we all want to be loved and we all want to be cared for. And me personally, when I say, like, if I get into a relationship, I call it the 60-40 rule. Like, I usually don't expect much from the other person. I can only do what I can do from my end. Okay. So I give to the best of my capability and I allow them to give me. So kama best yao does not match my best, then it means you're not my person. But the only way to find out is trying. You cannot just sit at a corner and say, there's a very high likelihood this certain person is going to find me here. No, you have to always put yourself out there, and putting yourself out there means a lot of risk of being hurt, risk of being betrayed, risk of actually even finding the love that we are actually talking about. And I don't particularly think there's a specific route that somebody can follow enye itafanya useme like, okay, inja nye nimechukua, now I'm going to find my soulmate. As a matter of fact, I think every individual akona njia yake to their self-actualization. And during this journey, you pick traits that make you more mature. Like the things you become indifferent to, you stop being emotional, you stop overreacting. That is you being an adult. And in your journey, ukipick hizi qualities, there's some traits ulipika ukiwa mtoto, like maybe you have some childhood trauma that might affect you as an adult, that as you're growing up, like your childhood trauma is no longer an excuse. You cannot be a 35-year-old man who is still living in their childhood trauma. You have to sit and work past your trauma. So once you get into a certain age, you mature, and your maturity will pull the right people in your circle, and hopefully your soulmate, quote unquote, if that exists. But is love a liability? Me allowing myself to fall in love, to allow me kadem, to allow a guy, you Jimmy, as a guy, allowing yourself to have a girl in your space, is it worth it in this time and generation? Economically, emotionally, do you think it's worth it? When you look at the dating pool, it makes sense.
I feel like you've just said that by a certain age or certain point, if you have experience in dating people, you need to now narrow down. Like you need to have experience on the people you're going to date.
Yeah.
Like you have to improve. You see?
Yeah.
So I feel like love becomes a liability if at that particular point you've dated like quite a number of people, you've interacted with so many people, but yet you still can't figure out like who you know, who you
can see past the red
like
flags.
you have to progress. You get. No, their love becomes a liability because you'll end up being disappointed. You see, like you're not progressing.
Is it something you would go for? Do you think like it's something somebody in this era should chase? Like, should I be actively looking for love? I'm like, Jenny focus na tax in
I feel like if you genuinely like put yourself bila ku try to change yourself, I feel like love will locate you, because like people will be seeing your traits, your how you handle things, the way you think. You see, I feel like it will locate you.
Yeah.
The way you carry yourself out.
What do you think?
Yeah, I concur. The focus, I think it's draining.
It's draining.
To think that I'm putting myself. I want to be loved. Somebody love me. Like it's a lot. It's a lot of work. I'd prefer if I'm focused on whatever I'm supposed to do.
Which is
work. Help, I mean improve, like you said. You talked about is your personality improving? Are you reacting the same way you used to do? Like when you were a teen and now, come on, like such things. When you're totally, when you're improving, when you're focused on your work, and you're constantly investing in the person that you are, then you're going to attract the right person.
Okay, I have a question for you. Now that like you're a Christian, like how are you able to separate? I know unasema like God will tell you that this is the right person for you, but like how are you able to really know? Because an average human being can pretend to be something they're not. People show up and they're like dressed in a certain way. Ama like they present personally, okay, me, I'm going to use myself as an example. Sipenangi watu wenye wana over identify na kitu. It's usually a sign that there's there's a mismatch with that thing. For example, if you're rich and you like constantly keep on telling me, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Clearly you're not, because why do you feel the need to like announce it every 5 minutes? No. So for example, like Konga, my first huge indicator, like when I'm meeting somebody who's religious, like, can I not see it in your character? Like, why do you have to like, consistently remind me over and over and over? So like, I'm asking you, how are you able to know when you're dating? Because your ideal guy is somebody who's God fearing, minus them telling you Nico God fearing. How are you able to pick? Okay, this is a guy I would go for because easy traits zina align na kitu nye mi nataka.
Yeah, there is something I told myself a few years ago. I'm going to use myself to measure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means I will not demand of you anything that I'm not.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, I know how a person who walks with God looks like because I've been walking with God.
Okay.
So I don't need you to tell me that I'm born again. I don't need you to tell me like your character
Okay.
itself.
It should speak.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm going to literally use myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to demand something that I'm not. So meaning character-wise, economically, I'm not going to ask you to be something that I don't
So
have.
let me ask you a question. I want to know your standards now that you're mentioning. What are your standards? Like when it comes to a guy?
Um, yeah, of course, has to be a believer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
One who has an intentional walk with God, like that's super important because whatever you were asking, like someone says I'm born again, and I think that's where we have a lot of issues when probably if I get into such a space and I say I'm born again and they're like, "Oof, another one." It's because I think judging from I probably the way I grew up, we had many people going to church, many people saying that they are Christians, but then there is no fruit or the character
Okay.
of being a Christian doesn't show. And so I'm so intentional that I don't want to say that I'm a Christian by title. I want my life to reflect the fact that I'm a person who walks with Jesus and who knows him intimately. Like, and intimately, I mean like I know when he speaks. I know when he's displeased. By a decision that I've made or a thought I've had in my mind. I know I know when I get into an atmosphere whether he wants me to be there or
Okay,
not.
wait,
Because I've
wait.
been
Hold on.
walking.
Hold
Yeah.
on. You what I'm getting is like a description of a general outlook of the kind of guy you want, not the actual person.
Oh,
When you say you want a believer, that's so general. Because what is most important when you're dating somebody, ama when you're in a relationship? Okay, religion is actually, it's usually very good to like have similar religious beliefs. That is actually one of the most important aspects. But when it all boils down to it, when you're in the house cleaning dishes and he's watching TV and mkiwa kwa nyumba like you're doing your regular, that aspect will not reflect as much. This is by the day-to-day speech, like how they speak, how they react when they're angry, what they do with their friends and family. Because believing in God is like, I usually say it's personal. You can never 100% know if it's genuine or not. That is whether you want to believe it or not. When somebody identifies as a Christian, a Muslim, or any other religion, you will never know if they actually truly mean it or not. Now, kuna hapo story na character. So, kuna like your interaction on your day to daily. You understand?
yeah.
Respectful. How does this person talk to other people. Loyal. Is this person true to his word? Does he say something and follows through? You understand what I mean? Because if you just put them in a nutshell and you say, like, God-fearing, yeah, the people, and the funny thing is, there are actually people who genuinely believe that they are actually God-fearing, but they're still short of character. They're still short of character. They still do things that ukozile are like, why would you do that in your right sense? No. And that aside, even people with mental health issues, there's somebody with schizophrenia who's God-fearing, and they do schizophrenic things. This is not a discrimination to people with schizophrenia, it's just an example. I'm just saying, God-fearing does not necessarily equate good character, because people believe what they believe. But then, when it comes to character, ini kitu tangible. I need to see it on a daily. This is why I ask you your standards. God-fearing is an umbrella. Like, hiyo ni kama ukiniambia ni God-fearing, I need to assume this person is respectful, this person is loyal, this person is kind. No, I can't assume. I want you to break it down.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I also want to talk about your part your character. I feel like I like giving scenarios. So there was this bodybuilder. He's called Chris Bumstead. So when he was prepping for his shows, like eating, things like that, so he's documenting in his YouTube. So there was a day he got so emotional and he was recording in YouTube and he just cried, speaking how things are tough, things like that. Like he was just genuine and he was crying. And then amidst that, a lady saw that, this guy is so genuine and so emotional and what. And then they started talking, and that's how they got their happily ever after. They have a kid, nini. Like, it's so beautiful. Yeah. So if I could compare that to you, what she's like asking you, what are some of these characters like that you want to see in let's say a guy? Christian values now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. 'Cause you reminded me of something. When we were in high school, one of the character traits we used to put out was God-fearing, and I think it was for formality.
Yeah.
So I said someone who is a believer. Not I haven't talked about God-fearing. And the intentionality, I was explaining the intentionality bit, because it's where the intentionality bit where you draw the character from. Because someone who has that intentional relationship with Christ, their character is it's built in that relationship with Jesus.
But isn't that similar to being a believer?
No. Many have said I'm a believer, but not many actually do walk with him.
But then I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm sure.
And sorry for cutting you. And that's why I wanted to correct you on something. I'm not a religious person. I am a Christian. They're separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if religious, it's following a certain set of rules that have been made by man. And Christianity is not. We do have religious
but Christianity is a religion.
activities. No, in humanly to define it, but when you actually break it down, it's not. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not totally.
I understand, but like I'm just when I think we can all agree words are there for a reason. So when I say you are religious, I think you understand what I mean.
I do, but it was important if I put it out that way, because that's what I'm getting into. That this is where the character flaws, the patience, love, self-control, gentleness. They come whatever they're fruit of the spirit. That's the character. And now how to measure it in day to day, it's how someone interacts with their family, with their friends, with people that are lower than them.
Okay,
I'd say.
Let me try and explain this one more time in a way that you'd understand. So there's the story of Jesus in the Bible, okay?
Yeah.
And usually we are told Jesus died for our sins.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. That is actually a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus died for our sins. Except if you dig the story historically, Jesus didn't just die for our sins. Jesus was killed because of his stance and beliefs, what he was teaching. Those two statements are very different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, if you go into the details, you will understand the history. He was born, he lived a certain way, he was hated by certain people, and then because of that, he was killed. That is the actual story. He was not just born and because of destiny, he died. He didn't die from leukemia.
Yeah.
He was killed.
Yeah.
So saying he died for our sins is like putting glitter in shit. It's like kuipamba. Unaona? In the real sense, he was killed. So, in relation to the conversation we're having, when I'm asking you this question and you're saying like he's a believer, that is not a trait, right? His relationship with God truly has nothing to do with you. Truly has nothing to do with you. Your relationship with God truly has nothing to do with him. Has nothing to do with him. As a person, nikitafuta like a partner, I'm looking for somebody who respects me. I'm looking for somebody who understands the art of communication. Because when it all boils down to it, being a believer will not teach you how to be respectful or being good in communication. This is an art you have to learn as an adult living human being. The Bible can tell you to be kind, but it will not teach you how to be kind. Real life experiences do. So when I'm asking you this question, like you're circling in faith and answer, which I respect and I hear you, but I still need human traits that you expect your husband between wewe na yeye. See religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, him being a believer has everything to do with everything. So I'm saying to measure the way you measure whether a person will be good to you, their character is well formed and everything. It's how they relate to others. Do they respect their parents? How do they speak of their parents, their siblings? How do they talk of their co-workers, their subordinates? How do he speak to the gate man, to the waiters and the waitresses? How such you measure such, because you're not living together, so you wouldn't know whether he is respectful or not. You can only pinpoint it, or you can only pick it when you're hanging out, and especially when you're hanging out around as his group of friends, his family. When you're out, and if he sees someone's maybe suffering, or he was served wrongly by a waiter, how is he going to react? If he's going to maybe if it's a lady who's served, and then the way he's going to talk about the lady, and the way and she's a woman, or she did it, and the way she is, like, you, that's where you pick such character traits.
Does his past matter?
Yes and no.
Elaborate.
It's important if he shares the past.
I feel like we've gotten so much deep into character that we've forgotten about a couple of things. I want to ask you both. Can you guys both give me a simple definition about liability? Starting with you, Becca.
Liability, in my own definition, would be something that makes me make losses.
Make
Like
losses.
it drains me. It takes, but doesn't like add value.
Doesn't add value.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I think that's the definition of liability. And I'd go back to the beginning, like love would only be a liability if I'm not prepared for it.
So, like you've
Yeah.
said, making losses.
Yeah, making losses.
Do you see yourself having to take some heavy losses or just
When it
any
comes to
losses
love,
when you're in love?
yeah, I think not heavy losses. Personally, I'm a huge believer of love.
Mm,
I think that this thing is imprinted in our DNA. Whether you like it or not, love is beyond your control. There's nothing you can do in your capability
mm,
to not love. You can only choose to suppress that feeling, just like you can suppress sadness
mm.
and hunger and jealousy and all other emotions. But like the feeling is there, it is inevitable.
You know, I only learned this year that there's a difference between love and attachments.
Yeah, I
Some
know
people,
that
yeah,
attachment is unhealthy.
like you've seen, have you watched
No.
Netflix
The
You?
series,
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Joe Goldberg,
yeah, Joe Goldberg. That is not love. That is like attachments.
attachment. Well, that's obsession. Hiyo yake imeboda ugonjwa. He's a psycho.
Mm,
But okay, just again, spoilers. Joe is like a sociopath. He was attracted to this girl and stalks her to an extent. In season one, he ends up killing her because they don't work out, and this girl finds out he's a weirdo. Yeah, but like that's just the storyline. So Joe is yeah, can no
mm,
attachment is quite different, Jimmy, from you and Joe. Attachment looks like this: like I need you to survive. I need you to survive, literally. And hii inaweza kuwa whether it's healthy ama unhealthy juu kuna secure attachment which sasa mimi na consider you kama love but still ni different. Secure attachment ni like I'm okay having you as long as it's in healthy terms. If it's not working out, that's fine. But kuna watu wenye wako avoidant na most of the time inakwanga influence na your childhood, the way your environment growing up ilikuwa inakaa. For example, if you are raised in a home mali you are not seen, you will always seek for that validation. You would really severely want to be seen even when it's not necessary. So any single time mse anakufanya una feel seen, you tend to like songa kusaidia sana. You like want them more. It's like you're craving for their attention.
mm.
So wakikudeny, you pull more. So the more they're running away, the more
You're chasing.
yeah. And that's not healthy. Because ideally, you shouldn't be chasing for people's attachment. Love is so confusing. When you're attracted to somebody, it's so confusing because you want to be with this person all the time. You know you're not supposed to be with this person all the time. You want to like hang out with them. You want them close to you. At the same time, it's not logical. There's a bunch of confusion happen. But ideally, you should be like you and your girl, for example. And unaweza kuwa hapa na yako pale and you guys should be independent of each other. City, you guys are thinking about each other like 24/7 and like she's constantly worried at like uko na dem gani? What are you doing? Like oh, that's weird. Now we need to sit down and reevaluate what's wrong. Why are you always insecure? You understand? But like when it comes to like attachment, it sucks the life out of you. Whether you are the person mwenye you are dating mtu mwenye kama wewe ni secure and you're dating mtu mwenye ako anxious ama avoidant, wanakudrain.
Yeah, I feel like ume narrow it down kidogo. Like that is just an example. Obsession, love. I feel like the first thing for like love to work, almost to work, I feel like both parties should understand their clear understanding about love. Unaona?
True.
So that is equate a liability.
True.
If you understand love as an attachment, me na understand as a responsibility. Maybe una understand it as a different kind of something else. It becomes a liability.
But like what does love as a responsibility mean even?
I feel like men, mostly we understand love as a responsibility. To provide, to take care of you, reassurance. Like isn't it vital that I'm not supposed to miss? You get? Like I'm responsible to provide.
What do you think?
To,
How do you think women understand love?
I feel
Mostly as an emotion,
like
but it's not supposed to be.
as an emotion.
What do you mean
Yeah.
as an emotion?
We get excited and we're like, oh my god, I'm in love with this guy, nini,
Don't men?
nini. And we are texting this nini, our girlfriends, and sijui he did this and that, and it's
Don't-
mostly an emotion that influences us, that even when there are
But there's
a lot of bad stuff happening,
there's love the
still at
action,
the table.
there's love the action, and
Mhm.
love the emotion.
Mhm.
Love the emotion is what you feel. Love the action is what you do about those feelings. Those two things are very different, because I think men also get excited when they like someone. And I like, you literally see, I have friends who fall in love and you see the body physique change and you're just happy for them, and that's fine. The feelings is very different. Everybody has emotions. Now love the action. How do you show up? Because I think that's what you're talking about, like love the responsibility. Wacha nijitumie kama example, because for lack of a better example, I know me personally, if I love someone, every other day I was just randomly walking the street, I'm like, oh, those are cute shoes. He's probably going to like them. I'm going to send them. I see a funny video and I'm like, this is going to make him laugh. I send him. Like, I'm thinking about how to make his day better. Na itarudi kwa point ya people who cook and clean for people. Personally, I listen to women every goddamn time fighting women who do these things. And I'm like, to each their own. If this thing makes you fulfill, because me personally, nikipenda mtu, kumwona amefurahia inanifurahisha.
So your responsibility is to make them happy.
Yeah, your responsibility is to make them happy. And if cooking and cleaning is your thing, fine. Wewe kama yako ni gifting, fine. Kuna watu wenye love language yao ni acts of service. So why should we consider them less just because tunaona like it should be ini services zinafaa kukuwa provided? Marriage, sidhani kama marriage inaanzanga because of a wedding. I don't think, and you will prove me wrong. I know you're religious, but I don't think other than the wedding at Cana, sidhani kama kuna wedding ingine kwa Bible. Kuna wedding ingine kwa Bible?
Yeah.
Gani?
The one in Genesis and Revelation.
Okay, sawa. I stand to be corrected. But anyway, the thing is, the ceremony does not necessarily start the marriage. The ceremony does not start the marriage. I think marriage starts at courtship. Marriage starts at courtship. That time mumepatana. You guys are trying to establish, are we good partners? Are we set for marriage? And then you guys talk and you vibe, and then you realize we can make this thing official. But the whole concept hati, somebody should start cooking and cleaning and doing all these things. Ama giving easy services. Iyo saa yenye wedding imeanza. That's wrong. Because like hata watu wakiendaga kucampaign, you have to show your good traits before to kukubali. And it's not even about showing off to be picked. It's about showing up the way you know best in terms of affection. If me cleaning for you makes you happy, and as a ripple effect, it makes me happy too, what's wrong with that? It's fine. Yeah, we shouldn't police ati sasati. Isn't it vitu zenye you have to save, you have to do them during a certain duration of time? No, I don't think. But like, I still think also women understand love as a responsibility. Ni venye iko shown against.
Is it a responsibility so much or an emotion? Because how come it's the most ladies that make the mistake where they see a guy has certain bad traits, but they still choose or to give themselves to the guy? Is it so much responsibility or it's an emotion?
First off, men do that too. It's not just women. Like, let me tell you, we talk about, it's easy to criticize, victims, because they should have known better, but they couldn't have. They couldn't have. And here's the thing, women talk more than men do. Women talk more than men do. And with that, we're able to learn more about women than men. But sometimes men get themselves in a position where they picked a wrong partner. This happens. Now, I know most times wanawake wanakuanga victim, but that does not necessarily mean all women are the victim. They can be perpetrators. There are women who are abusive. There are women who do bad things. And there are men who get themselves in a position, like, it's even harder for them to leave. It's just a mental situation, I'm a circumstance, where you find yourself in a position, you've already made the bad decision. Like, you find men like, amekaa kwa relationship 60 years with an abusive partner, but ameshindwa kusema. Unaona? Na hii itakuja kwa sababu wewe kama dem venye society na kutreat na yeye kama mwanamume venye society na mtreat are very different. Wewe ukisema mwanamume amekuchapa, people will open you with open arms, and we're like, oh my God, whether it's true or not. For him, it's a little bit harder. We were like, what were you doing? Like, what was the size of this girl? As if mtu mdogo akikugonga na chuma si uchungu, you know. But like, people treat you different, and because of that, reaction yako na yake in an abusive situation haiwezi kuwa same. But this idea ati women keep on choosing wrong makes men look like the villains most of the time, and a good number of times it's not, because hata we kama utashinda juu tu umekuwa tu victim kila saa. Like, why is it kila saa tu ni women? Then it means we're not able to make good discernment ama good choices as a gender, which I don't think is true. I think women are very smart.
True.
And I think we're able to discern. So this whole idea that we are always a victim, sikubaliani nayo. Unaona? I think in a romantic dynamic, there are things men want and women want, and people clash. And I would like to say today, it's fine. If somebody is not yours, this is the benefits of exploring. You sit down with somebody, you lay out Indian ikonayo to offer, Indian inyakonayo to offer. If it's not working out, it was a good run. You try again somewhere else.
Can I ask you guys a question? I want to believe, like, when people are getting married, the time that people are reciting their vows, like, it comes from the heart, like they're genuinely in love.
Sometimes.
Like, those vows are so deep. I want to believe that they're in love. But now there comes this stat that says that I think it's more than 50%.
It's actually 50.
It's 50.
Yeah, 49% of marriages end in divorce.
49.
Yeah.
Don't
That
you
is,
think
I think by last year.
by last year it's 49?
Yeah.
Isn't that a liability?
Do you want to answer or
I want your thoughts.
my thoughts? This is what I can say about that. People are complicated. Love isn't. And these two things clash. When you look around, statistics zinafaa kukuindicatea something, but see, okay, let me ask you a question. How many people are billionaires?
Quite a number.
How many people are quite a few? How many people are poor?
A lot.
Does that make you okay with being poor? Or would you want to pursue being a billionaire despite them being few? Your chances of being a billionaire is way, way, way lower
Less.
compared to being poor. But wouldn't you still want to try?
Most definitely.
Why? And it's very logical. I mean, it's very, very logical that it's close to impossible kukua billionaire compared to ukicompare hizo vitu mbili. You get what
I have to try my chances.
Exactly my point. So you ask yourself, I was having this conversation with my cousin the other day, and we were like talking about marriage, and I was like, is marriage really necessary? Is it like, what is the benefit of marriage? Why is it a deal we need to? And then I was like, what is the opposite of marriage? And is that something we as a society want to indulge in? That like, oh, I'm just like, oh, there's a guy. Or let's just talk for like 2 days and fuck, and like I have a kid, I'm like, oh, it doesn't work out, and kila mtu ende nje yake. And then I meet the next guy, I'm like, oh, okay, this one akona ndevu, ule akwa nayo, maybe he's different. Let's try something out. And then fuck, and then I have another kid. I'm not saying ati mwenye amefanya hivyo like is like the worst possible human being. I'm just saying there's a lot that comes with marriage, and you find it beneficial other than hii ingine. For one, marriage ni two families in a merge. Okay? And if you look at it scientifically, a child that has been brought up in a home enye ikona mama na baba akona better chances of outcome compared to like single parent home. Unaona? Again, this is not discrimination. This doesn't mean ati ukilelewa in a single parent home you're less of a human being. We're talking about chances of outcome.
Statistics,
Yeah.
chances.
I mentioned pia kama uko na wazazi wawili, you're the ideal human being. You can be a tyrant as well. So you would want your child to grow up in a home enye ina promote the highest likelihood of success in terms of being a sane ama like a functional human being, sindio?
I feel you.
So kuna sharing of properties, kuna family involved, kuna hata a small thing kama solving issues. Here's the thing, ni kama like there's nothing that binds you with quote unquote your girlfriend, but when you're married the family is involved. Hata mkikasirikiana, there are people who will come together to try and help you sort out the issue. Nika friend group. You understand what I mean? People care because they understand the significance of he unit. And by the way, the family unit is very, very, very important. Anybody who tries to break the family unit is basically just against the whole human race. Because in a shape the kind of adults we have by a large margin. Utangalia statistics itakwambia even things like drug consumption iko heavily influenced na family dynamic. Unaona? So it's something you would want to protect. So unaweza sema like 50% of marriages end in divorce. That does not necessarily mean there's anything wrong with that institution, because the other 50 in a function. We mbona uko kwa 50 ingine? Hiyo ni kitu ya kwanza. And if your chances of being a billionaire is that slim, na unaweza jituma bado with the hopes you can get to that point, why wouldn't you try kitu nye iko na a 50% chance na iko na benefits? Also, the chances of failure in marriage does not necessarily equate ati ni liability. Inamaanisha tu like half of the people wenye wana get into it wako na chance ya could not work out. He haimaanishi this person is going to drain you. Because sometimes, like, once you date people, you understand like at a small thing kama venye nywele inashikwa is an issue. And that you don't have to kill yourself because of that. It's fine. Kuna mtu mwenye mtakuwa compatible na yeye na kuna mtu mwenye mtakosa kuwa compatible na yeye. This happens in friendship too, and that's fine. So
like lazima upate mtu uko compatible na yeye.
Compatibility is just one thing, but like boy, would it be helpful if you find somebody mwenye mko compatible na yeye, kama huyo shapikwa kwa religion. Maybe wako unataka mtu mwenye ana understand fitness. You so don't want somebody unfit.
People should just do speed dating.
Sasa unajua ni it's always venye tulisema it's like a risk. Juu speed dating pia bado haikuguarantee. Trust me, kuna mse mwenye in less than 1 hour of getting into a room atapata soulmate wake. Na kuna mse mwenye ataka in a relationship for like 30 years and it's not working out. It's not working out. This person is miserable. They just like feel fulfilled. They're just in a toxic environment. And then you see the funny thing is mi wanaona ni kama like it takes two to tango. Like you cannot just stay in a toxic environment for 30 years if you yourself you're not toxic.
Makes sense.
Ukwe victim for 30 years. Okay, this is not shaming victims, but like you need to know when to like step out of the dance floor. This whole idea that love, dating, relationship, marriage is the epitome of life. Pana. It's okay if it works. I have this conversation with my mom every other day because she's like, oh, don't date multiple guys. No. I will. Like, I'm sorry, I will. And dating does not necessarily involving myself sexually with a guy, because now that's like a whole other discussion. But I must talk to multiple people and view their perception about relationship, dating, marriage, having kids, being a dad, the family venye ina function, and then I know. So person A, okay, kwa wana practice uganga. I'm like, okay, no, that's not my guy. I mean, maybe your finances is in check. Maybe I like your social life in terms of how you relate with your friends. But here aspect kidogo is a big deal to me. So no, I try the next person. I am not settling. It's okay to be also single, guys. It's fine. That's also an option. Like nobody's holding a dagger to your head ati usipo ama usipo oleka. You're a loser. You're a loser and you shouldn't be part unafaa kukua. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quoting someone, can't remember who, but they said, I think it's a counselor. They said that majority of the people who end up in divorce know that they will separate at some point.
They know.
Yeah, they know. They saw it before the wedding,
Mm.
and they still went ahead hoping something would
Change.
magically change, but it never did. And so they end up divorced. So I wouldn't say that marriage is a liability, but divorce, yes, I think it's painful.
Mm.
I think the both parties do suffer. If there were children, they suffer. So it's a liability in that aspect, but not the institution itself.
Yeah, but I would also try and add on that because I think women get a lot of criticism because most of the time divorce is initiated by women. I think maybe 80% of divorce, I'm not wrong, yeah, is initiated by women. That is indicative of something. And like most men want to believe women love less because of this data. And I don't think it's true. I think men would rather suffer than tap out and leave, which is not good. As a man, you always have the free will to leave if you are in a toxic situation. And I think everything is part of the process, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pain, suffering, betrayal, disappointment. Whenever I'm sad or disappointed or like stressed, I usually sit myself down and I talk to myself like I would talk to my younger self. Like I hold my hand and look myself in the eye and I'm like, it's fine, you know? It's part of the process. Like I wasn't born to be happy. You can't be happy like all the time. Like it's like, yay. No, pain is part of the process and there's nothing wrong with it. And pain does not necessarily equate liability. In every single business you invest, there are going to be losses. You're going to be disappointed. The days you're gonna have good days in the office, you're gonna have bad days. But he process yote like is essential. It's necessary. You
It's
have
to make you.
yeah, you have to experience. You are not you without experiencing it. So I think understanding it upfront, processing it upfront, and knowing like there's always a chance of nika unaona msaki love bomb. You understand the concept of being love bombed?
Yeah, I got it from your discussion.
Yeah, like when somebody just meets you and like they send you like texts and flowers and sudden and they don't know you, they've never met you, but usually there's something they want in turn. It's like a very calculative move. When you see something, always give it a benefit of the doubt. Ukiona mtu mwenye ni mbaya kabisa 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 kabisa, mwenye unaona tabia zake, give him benefit of the doubt. Useme like this person, this is not normal, you know. Ukiangalia an average human being, binadamu wa behave hivi. And if you see something that is, this person is so nice, so perfect, they fit, yani ana check tu kwa checklist yako boxes zote ziko checked. Always have that benefit of the doubt. And you're just like, okay, he's nice and stuff. Justina, any damning evidence, mtu alisema like, just because you're intelligent, that doesn't exempt you from suffering. You think because you're intelligent, you'd know better. But like intelligence on itself could potentially be your own downfall because you like logic and you like reasoning. So when you see something, you're like, you'd want to rationalize it. So someone is an love bomb. You're like, okay, there's no incriminating evidence to show that this guy doesn't love me. I deserve it.
You want to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, you understand. Yeah. And maybe you feel like you deserve it because who doesn't think they deserve love? And then before you know it, kumbe uchali alikuwa ama udema alikuwa na biashara zake, like maybe alikuwa nakutumia to get to someone or to something. You understand? So you always give yourself the benefit of the doubt and you're just like, it's just humans being humans. Like there's nothing in your capacity you could have done to change or influence their behavior. You are not responsible for the choices they made. They absolutely made those choices with the autonomy. You are just collateral. That's it.
So
We
then it becomes a liability.
I
Na hiyo
wouldn't say
outcome
I wouldn't say it's a liability. I would say kwa hiyo scenario I think it's a lesson.
ni lesson.
Yeah, a lesson ni kama learning a random fact. You know, as long as una learn, benefit.
So we can say that love is not a liability.
Personally, I don't think it is. I don't personally think love on itself is a liability. I exercise love to the fullest of my capability. Mimi nikikupenda, I don't do ifs and buts and I give it my best. Ile time haita work pia nitakuwa ni sawa, I tried. You know what I mean? Imagine going into a business and like unataka kukuwa na minimal risk. So una invest kidogo. Hata profit ukimake itakuwa to the same amount.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when you go all out, but going all out does not necessarily mean you're careless. It means you trade with caution. You look at the algorithm, you try and understand, you protect yourself, you guard your heart, because also no one is coming to guard your heart for you. You guard your heart. So you just try to the best of your capacity. And if it's a lesson, you learn and move to the next. Nivo too.
Yeah, I'd think the same way. You've reminded me a few years ago. I tried a biashara. I was buying candles from Kariako, then reselling. And the first time I made a loss, I was so shocked. And I think that's how my business ended.
Well, hi.
And I think, but right now, with the various businesses I'm thinking about and being in space where I help people in business, whatever, I think that's a part of the process. Making loss,
Yeah,
it's part of a process.
Yeah.
I think it would only be a liability if you stay in that pain, in that anger.
Exactly.
That this and this person did ABCD.
Exactly.
I think it's important as a human being to be like, you know what? I also played a part.
Yeah.
Yes, he did this, he did that, but I also allowed it.
Yeah.
I allowed it, so I can't say that all the time this and this person did ABCD.
Oh, that's also an interesting take, because I wanted to touch something on being used. Personally, I don't believe in the concept of being used. It was either consensual or rape. Hakuna kitu kama kukuwa used.
You're saying used sexually.
Yeah. Or just being used in a relationship. Okay, so most of the time inakwanga that phrase inatumikanga like sexually.
Oh, and I think if it's for men, it's about money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either consensual or ingine sijui ni gani, but like you can't be used because I think most of the time when umesema hizo cases za divorce, you usually know when you go to someone. I'm not saying they're not, because they're pathological liars. But then there's your intuition, and lies don't make sense. There were so many red flags. I think the least you can do, ukisha find out like your time akili yako isha settle and then you're like, okay, fine, I'm not going to stay here anymore. It's like.
And how about these cases when, let's say a guy ameshinda akilipia a dem fees, and then later dem anamshow, I never told you to pay for my fees.
Yeah, because she didn't, which is true. Except when you give from love, you are not buying her.
But
she's
now,
not like
the guy invested. So
that what happens.
Maybe why
so that you get fucked.
You
Dude,
remember the discussion that you were having earlier, that he was saying that you should tell a guy when you're not into whatever. I think it should be that way, where as a girl, I know this guy, because we can tell, he's doing this and this because he wants me. What if I just say,
well, assumption,
please,
unana,
you can ask, why are you doing this and this? Why are you paying my fees?
Why can't he be the one, like, please, the money is yours. Why can't you be the one to ask me, okay, so I like you like this, but here's the thing. That's besides the point. Mine personally, I'm against the whole thing. I am saying, if you want to spend or give enough. Give enough. You nakujanga most of the time kama ume overinvest. Mimi, never a day in my life, I'm not sure about you too, never a day in my life have I ever given anybody anything na nikai regret ama nika feel like, oh my god, I shouldn't have. Never. Give enough. And then when you give with love, you don't expect back. Hini in all dynamics. Imagine, no, I usually find it really sad. Unapata mtu fulani wa high school amekufa, and then wazazi wake kwa TV wako like, oh, amekufa na yeye ndiye alikuwa tegemeo yetu. Like, what do you mean tegemeo? We're literally mourning someone amekufa, and you are thinking about pesa nyange kupatia akiwa alive.
Return.
That's not love. That's not love. When I love you, I give. And like, I would give. Unanipata. But here's the thing. Give enough. Give enough. And then, pia, kuna hiyo aspect ya damage control. Unaona hiyo dynamics yenye dema nakutaka ama chale nakutaka, huwa unajua.
Yeah.
Huwa unajua. So uende uze ama utumie rent yako uje ukanibaie marashi, perfume, and you know very well sijakwambia I like you back in that essence. What are you doing?
Are you going to receive it?
Yeah, because it's a gift. People don't reject gifts.
You do.
People don't reject gifts. Don't your friend gift you? Rafiki yako ako-
do.
They do.
But if you don't
They
feel
do,
them,
but yeah, I will
unafaa
not
urudishe.
pick it.
No, so I'm only supposed to receive gifts if I'm sexually attracted to you.
No.
Not sexually.
Yeah, but sasa si I will. When nilisha gift me nichukue. Like, what do you mean I'm not supposed? Yeah.
No.
Mimi I'm usually, personally, I'm not pro leading people on. Sijasema ti like you behave in that's mischievous. That's malicious. Don't lead people on. You know very well they want you sexually, ama like they want you romantically. You're giving the vibe that you want them romantically as well. So they're investing knowing they're having you romantically, and that's not the case. I am very much against that. Mimi ninakwanga sema ukweli. Tell me to my face, I reject you. Kila mtu asonge na maisha yake. Unanipata? But mi nasema tu like give enough. Give what you're willing to lose. Kwa sababu the more you're giving me millions. Na wewe mwenyewe you're not pouring the millions into your life. Itauma.
But that would make sense because I feel like the people buy their partners, let's say a car,
Yeah.
and then once they break up, anachukua
Chukua
gari.
gari.
Kumaanisha kwake alikuwa anajaribu ku love bomb or something. That makes
Or
sense.
to buy it.
Because if I can own 30 cars and I give you one car, why would I need to take it back when we break up? Because people break up all the goddamn time. People break up, sindio? And then so let's talk about courtship. It's different in its marriage. Let's talk about courtship. Hakuna security. There's nothing that is guaranteed. Okay, invest. Have that in your head. There's nothing that is guaranteed. Like, I can love you for life right now, today. Kesho niamke niko na doubts ka 30. Niseme like, I pull back. So, ile 30k uliniwekea kwa account, imeingia maji hivyo. And that's not my fault. That's not my fault. Feelings are not reliable. At least marriages, because there's a document. Hiyo ni props moja ya marriage. Feelings are not reliable. I can wake up one morning and say, I just don't see you like that no more. I'm like, I found a better person. What are you gonna do about it? That's just it. Utanichukua na kamba unifunge unilazimishi. Hauwezi? So give what you can. I mean, give enough. Give enough. Unaona? When marriage ikifika, that's different. But usitogive kabisa useme like, I cannot give you until. No.
And some people wait for that until.
You're not the prize, my friend. You're not the prize. You're not the prize. You have to always prove yourself kwa kila mtu. Kwa wazazi wako, kwa marafiki zako, you always have to show up. You always have to give. So acting like, me ndo the prize, I'm the ultimate goal. Responsibility yako ni ku give. Nah, that's toxic. That's really toxic.
And selfish.
Yeah.
I think that now would apply in courtship, but not dating. Because I think in dating, there should be limitations. In courtship, there is a sense of direction. We are headed to marriage. And so, yes, I can give, w- I don't know, I can give certain things, or I can be free about certain things. But in dating, I think there should be a place for withholding a lot of yourself.
Well, not. I wouldn't. Me personally, see agree. You can just okay withhold. Like me usema, 1 + 1 = 2. Withhold. There are consequences. If it's somebody you like, they might not like you. The point blank period. You will withhold, but they're going to be consequences. Me personally, like I say, I give enough. Unaona? So dating, hapa ndo tumefikishana. This is what I have to give. When we are married, now there's like a whole other dynamic. We're like literally we are one. I can put my life on the line for you. Unaona? But I cannot put my life on the line for you na tuko talking stage. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
but kuna vitu nita give for your period. Enye sasa like sitakuwa like you are the one who's supposed to text first. Because I'm the prize. No.
I know.
No. I will text. As a matter of fact, I will double text. Kama wewe si mtu wa kutext, I will find out at the right time and I will leave. Unaona? I will not sell myself delusion like, oh, maybe it's just like, maybe it's busy. Oh, maybe it's just no. Just give it enough at that particular time. Fuel it for that stage. Ikikata, sini sawa.
I think hiyo ni ukweli. I feel like love becomes a liability when people pretend. Kwanza
Yeah.
hata in talking stages, maybe when you start dating, I feel like unafaa tu ujianike tu.
Exactly. Yani just be yourself. This is the way I am. And then
Than
unamwambia,
withholding.
yeah.
When you give, when you're, okay, when you pour out yourself or certain aspects of yourself, especially the touchy things, you end up being emotionally tied to a person, but you don't know where you're going.
Not all the time.
Especially like okay, in the talking stage, when
Okay.
you pour or when you expose like your heart so much, especially those touching, like we can, I don't know even what I'd say, like we talk about in the talking stage. Oh, can we vibe? Can we just hang out and laugh
can
at
have-
random
No,
stuff?
you can have these
Okay.
conversations. The one we're having at podcast talking about love, you can
Yeah.
have them during talking stage
Yes.
to understand
But
the guy.
then at that point I wouldn't be so much invested to give of myself, because my emotions, or if I've gone through like certain traumas and I expose these traumas to you and you give attention to my traumas, I'm going to be emotionally attached to you. And so if by people break up, if we don't work out, I'll end up being attached to you and I'll have a hard time moving on, because I give myself, I give too much too early.
No.
So
That's one way of looking at it. Sorry, Jimmy. Like that's one way of looking at it. Look at it like this. Somebody once told me ati nikidate msee nisimwambie my personal stuff. And I'm like, no, I will tell you my personal stuff. I want you to see me raw and authentic. Also, the fact that I'm telling you my personal stuff does not necessarily mean I'm pity-patting. I'm telling you so you can be informed. I'm expecting the same from you as well. I want the good stuff. I want the bad stuff. I want to know what deal I'm signing up for. I don't want to find out like you have a history of sijui nini ama like some weird stuff. But it's not even coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of now I know. Okay, let me see what I can do from here. Okay? On your story now, attachment, well, no, that's just, you have to be an adult making adult decisions. You cannot be attached to someone just because they they licked your wounds. When you're sharing information, now you've made this my mantra. Just give enough. Okay? Give enough. Because okay, you're not supposed to be emotionally attached to someone. And then again, it's okay if you are. Like I say, it's part of the process. Allow yourself to fall yosa. You utajokotea mbele. That's how you build strength, by the way. That's how you build strength. Withholding information does not necessarily mean this kitu haita. Unaweza withhold your information for 10 years, then you share it, and then you will still break up eventually.
I think what I'm trying to say is that you should not commit yourself to certain things if there is no sense of direction to whatever.
But how do
is
you create
happening.
that sense of direction?
I think it should be established early that
How?
if I meet a guy today and we are getting along well, and he's like, you know what, I've decided I'm dating for marriage, and I'm like, you know what, I'm also doing the same. Okay, can we probably in the talks and everything, if I see that we are getting aligned in certain things, now I can share certain parts of myself that I'd normally not share, because there is a sense of direction to whatever we have committed ourselves to.
Okay,
Yeah.
You have anything to say?
I don't have anything to add on.
Okay, so me, my take usually when I go into dating, I come with a full basket of trust. Wewe ndio unaiondoa mpaka senye itakuwa empty, and I'm like, sir, it was a good run. I don't come with an empty bucket hoping you would help me fill it. I come with a full basket. So ni wewe? Most of the time, I usually tell people, if I'm dating them, I treat you how you deserve. If you give me your all, honey, expect nothing less. Like me, I'm a giver. Me naweza uza kidney zangu like like me, I don't mind giving. When it comes to giving, I was even having like a conversation with my sister, and like mi upenda tu, like napenanga tu vitu, and then she was like, wewe itabia yako, and then I'm like, me hata si feel shit, like when I like you, and I would never regret, by the way, nikisha kupatia, like
So I feel like yeye akiweza pata a fellow giver wanaweza kaa vizuri, si ndio?
They will give. Yeah.
But me si mindingi kugive. So I come with my full basket of trust. When I meet you, like for example, meet Jimmy, if I'm like, I like you like that, like I wouldn't come and start having doubts. It's your behavior that it any guide. So Nico, like, okay, so I picked Jimmy. I'm very heavy on details. Usually that is why. So I'm like, Jimmy's pattern is like this. He wakes up this morning. This is how he texts. This is what he says. Within the first month, I've mastered you. Like that. It's over to basics. Najua, like, if I want to call you, this is the best time. If I want to hang out with you, this is the best day. Okay, so Jimmy talks to his mom during a certain time when we're together. So I know most likely right now, mama yake anaweza piga simu or something like that. So those are the key things I pick. When I'm fixing myself into your life, because me wanna believing I fix myself into your life. When I'm fixing myself into your life, I understand it first and I know my place. So wewe ndio unani guide. The way you talk to me, the way you respond to my text, the way you show up for me, the way you listen, even the way we are having a conversation, the amount of information you're getting is directly inverse to the kind of reaction you're giving. How invested are you? Like, what is your perception about the information you're receiving? Like, what are you willing to do with this information? How do you react with the information? Nikki, realize like you're indifferent. Like, what business do I have sharing my person? Sasa uko fiti poa, hata mimi kila mtu aendelee na shughuli zake. But if you're somebody who cares, and not romantically only, even with my friendships, you will tend to see like after a certain duration of time, I tend to change and morph and become a certain way. Like I become more freer and more relaxed, and I share like certain jokes and express certain things. Like after nime establish you're this kind of a person, I never treat my friends the same. This kind of a person, to make certain jokes with them. This kind of a person, I'm going to treat them like inaweza takwa like sasa uko poa. Ama ile kale ka head nod kale kofiti. That's it. But we're cool, we're friends. But like that's the best I can do because I understand their capacity. Even though venye nina fit kwa maisha yao. So again, mantra.
Just to make sure that I'm clear, I'm not for people withholding information. I think it's unfair. Again, in a committed relationship, I think it's totally unfair when someone hides certain
Things
information.
about their life.
Yeah, it's totally unfair. What I'm saying is, now going back to the topic of the day, and many people hurt when they give them certain things too early, and then they end up saying love is a scam or whatever the slogans, whatever comes up,
But
because they give something too early that they were not supposed to give to someone.
No, but it's fine. Like it's what's like I think it's me nonani that's actually even better. Mimi ni heri uniache na the first month, ama you just do your weird thing the first month rather than I stay with you like for 10 years and then I discover you like kids. You know what I mean? I'd rather
it has
just
left so many bitter.
No, sasa hiyo ni responsibility yako.
Could deal with it.
Yeah, that's your job as an adult. Like hiyo ndo maana watu wanakaa kwa relationship nye hawafai because there were signs initially and like the reality of you accepting the truth was far way painful more than creating a delusion for yourself. Mimi wacha nikwambie, wacha nijilete authentically and let me see hizo weird things during the initial stages of dating and then miniende. Okay, so nikuwa naongelea story na kushare things kwa relationship. If I come to you vulnerable and I share something out of vulnerability and you use it against me, see that's okay. That's fine. I just know the kind of person you are. And that's fine. I don't feel bad because, again, give enough. I share enough information. Sita kuambia vitu zenye zinafanya like... And I deal with things personally before I express them. So if there's something that makes me insecure, I have to clean up my house inside before it's okay. So if I'm sharing something with you, like I trust you to a certain degree. So if you're using it against me, that shows more about you than it does me. The information haina shida, hiyo like hiyo nilikupatia juu like I'm willing to share. So I don't really care how you're going to use it. But if you decide to use it against me, ama like umeanza kunisema kwa watu wengine, now that tells me your character. I don't feel bad for sharing that information. Actually, I shouldn't even feel bad. I'm just like, oh, so you're this kind of person. I don't want this kind of a person in my life. And then I can make a decision from there. Unaona? But like, disappointment... like hata mkipendana you still disappoint each other.
True.
Yeah, human beings are so complicated. You can love somebody like so much but they annoy the hell out of you, but that doesn't mean you don't like them. You just work things through. You learn to live with it. So if somebody up front you came and you presented yourself and like maybe they didn't choose you, ama like they, I don't know, used it against you or something like that, that is all on them. It's not you. You're honest. You're being transparent. You're authentic. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like you have to learn to sit with uncomfortable feelings. You need to be a little bit more resilient. And then you'll realize love is not a liability. Okay, ukiweza sit through disappointment. Mtu amejileta na ameonyesha true colors zake. Well, tu kulia ni sawa. Machozi haiko kwa hapo for decoration. Lock yourself up in the room, have your good cry. The world has 8 point something billion people. You will always find someone else. It's okay. It's fine. Anything. Tunafaa ku wrap up. Sasa, anyone with anything else to say?
Yeah, I've just thought maybe I should have expounded on when someone is ready for love. That's or when you get into it, that's the only time it's a liability. And what I mean by you're ready, from my world viewpoint, it's that you're ready for marriage. That's the only time you should think about even being with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to clear that up.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to a certain degree, but also things are complicated. People who don't believe in marriage, but Sasa, should they translate it that they don't deserve love? Because I don't know. Me, I'm pro marriage, but I'm pro love even more. I think everybody deserves love, and nailok tunasema. It's very, like, you're very clear, very precise, makes so much sense. But tu ya kila mtu, I think everybody deserves love. It's okay to fall in love. Love is complicated. Love is not complicated. People are complicated, and that's fine. You will find mwenye ako less complicated na mneza zin na yeye, and that's fine. But yeah, so leo I'm gonna do one thing sijaifanya, kurapa podcast wa kwanza. Okay, let me just give my final take. Is love a liability? I don't think so. I think the person you can be with can be a liability, but not love itself. If you're able to master the art of dealing with your emotions, sitting with uncomfortable feelings, understanding vitu kama communication and whatnot, kukua self-aware, knowing how you feel and expressing it very well, utakuwa umehack so many things. And also, wanaume wa kwena person. Okay, me, I love men. I'm attracted to men. I love men. So we need to just do a little bit listening more from our partners, ama the people. Kama mtu anakutaka ni sawa, kama kutaki pia ni sawa, sindio? And it's fine. Just learn how to sit with your emotions, learn how to process them, be self-aware. Hizo zingine, man, it's beyond your control. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
What I can say is there are many reasons to love than the inverse. I feel like when you love somebody is like an added advantage, a bonus.
Yeah.
I would compare it to nataka kutumia analogy when you are doing a trust fall.
Yeah.
Like you unaanguka tu and then there's somebody that will catch you.
Yeah.
So it's like an advantage, a bonus. So I don't think love is a liability.
Yeah.
But people are.
People are, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's who you choose, not how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Salmi?
I'm looking for a poem.
Okay.
Okay, I found it. Let me end with this without trying to over-explain. Love is a paradox. I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Love is a paradox. I can't receive love if I don't know love. I don't know love if I don't know who created it. So I can't love if I don't love the one who created me, meaning I can't love if I don't love the one to love me and in turn love you and receive love from you. What is love?
Oh, that's so nice. Come on,
even Shakespeare would be jealous.
Yeah, so I think we call it a wrap. Until next time, like, share, subscribe.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out.